All right. So right here at the very top, I have that says hotspot, high spot digital room. That's where all of your information is going to be. If you have any questions, a lot of times it can be answered right here. Um, that's also where our agenda is for today's meeting, which is also in the chat too. So today, we're going to talk about the student login, liaison login. We're going to go over a few resources that you can look at, also resources that are great for families. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of the dashboards as well. So right now, we are currently serving 411 students in 13 schools. I did get about 4 more today. So I know there are probably some missing, and the numbers might not be right, but right now, that's what we have in our system. That look okay to you? All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think how to do this with the logging in.
I'll
and
see if I can
showing.
share. I'll see if I
Okay.
can share, but you can talk through the first part of it, and then I'm going to see if I can share, because I've shared my screen before on these meetings. And
Okay, perfect. So to give students access, what you're going to do is you're going to go to my.waterford.org. You're going to go under staff and students, select your school, select your class, and then you're going to see all your students' names. You select all of their names, and then it's going to populate their codes. And that code is what the student and family is going to use to log into Waterford Upstart. This link right here at the top is step by step going to show you what to do as well. So that's linked.
Let me share my screen.
Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm just gonna walk through this, which most of you, there's also a step-by-step video right on your digital page that this shows exactly what I'm doing. So you get that email, that email from Jan that says you have access. Then the very next thing you do is you come right here. As she mentioned, you log in, and then this is where I'm logged in, and then you go to staff and students and find your school, your students, select select your class, select all, and then you're going to see something that says Upstart codes. And when you choose Upstart codes, this is that unique code that families do get once they in order to be able to access Waterford at home. So this comes with a letter as well that's on your digital, your high spot page. I'm sure that your digital page that you can send home. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say your digital page? Melissa?
Well, I have a question. So I just logged in, but I already had an account with Waterford with my email and everything. So I have 0 students that are the home-based students. They're the 21 that I've rostered in there.
So they are the same. I'm sorry, are they the new they're all the old students?
Yeah, so like it's my exact email, it's the code, but the password is different than what I have. And if I log in with that password, it doesn't work. If I log in with my old password, it's my normal, it's the dashboard, it's everything. So I don't know if I have 2 accounts. Because we purchase Waterford as a district as well.
What school are you with?
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
So yeah, I'm supposed to have 97 students rostered.
Okay.
And so
I'm gonna look into that for you.
I just the email, it's the exact same username that I use for my school account. So something's weird.
And is it the same code? It's the same.
It's the same, like or origin code and everything. Yeah.
It is the same org code. Okay, because that's usually the big differentiator. Okay.
But the password that I gave you does not work.
No, but my password that I have saved in there does.
Okay.
So.
I wonder if your computer somehow is like holding on to the old password, but we'll, um,
Well, it does, but when I put in the new password she gave me, it doesn't work.
I'll look into that, and
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll
Yep.
continue to listen, but I was trying to
Yeah,
follow
no.
steps.
Yeah, no, Melissa, I was gonna say, Jan, why don't you let me go ahead, because I just stopped that. I'm gonna stop sharing and then get ahead, Jan, and you wanna continue with the
Yes, but Toby, the next one is it's going to show you guys how the parents and families are going to log in. So Toby, I don't know if you want to share your screen again just to show that. You're going to go to upstart.waterford.org, and in this presentation that is shared as well, I have step-by-steps. There's also a letter link for you to send home to the families that shows them step-by-step what to do, has pictures of how to log in. So right on this screen that she's sharing, the families are going to have to create an account. So they create an account with their email, and then they're able to log in with that.
yeah. They can use their, if they already have like a Gmail account, they can use that.
And then you're going to click this enter an Upstart ID. And that's where they're going to paste that code that we just showed you how to get, that little code that was at the bottom. That's where they're going to put that. And then the child is logged in. So they probably shouldn't have to do that every time. I have a little test account, and it's saved. But any questions about that process?
If the kid had an account last year, do they have to get a new code for this year? Like go through it again? Because they might not have qualified this year.
I think that would depend if they were on the list and if they were rostered and the courses were assigned. Do you know if a specific child is on the
No,
list?
I'm just asking, like, if
They
I
would.
have a kid that used it last year, do they need to do this all again because they have a new access code?
Yes, because the platform is a little different. They're accessing it through a different platform than they were last year. So yes, they would.
Oh, and by the way, my password is the exact same as what she sent me because I went and looked show password. So it's not working.
Still not working. Okay. I want to troubleshoot for you, but I don't want to share my screen and troubleshoot.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just wanted to let you know that I'm like, oh no, my password is what she sent me.
Yeah, we're gonna get this straight, Melissa. Okay.
And then Toby, last thing, sorry, the next slide is the last login that I would need you to share. In this, I'm just going to show all of you all real quick of how you're going to log in and the page that you're going to see.
When your password works, right, Melissa?
Yes, yes.
This is the page. You go to my.waterford.org, and let me just log out real quick.
And again, in this, it's all linked for you in the slideshow, so you'll be able to see it that way. So this org code, you have a specific org code for your school. You should have gotten an email from me. If you have not gotten an email from me yet, it's coming. I just can't send those until all the students are rostered and courses are assigned. And then you have your email address and then the password that is in the email that I sent you.
So if you have children, well, Melissa, again, this is something else I'm curious about. But if you select not your organization and then try to sign in again with the new code, with the code again, and your username and the new password, I wonder if that will work for you.
They're
I don't know if you tried that.
They're all the same though. Like my new code is my old code. My email is the same, and the password is all the same. So I entered it how she said.
Yeah.
Like So I mean, I'm gonna do because I started it like EVR M. Hardman.
Just wondering if anyone else has a question or need any
Yeah.
clarification on anything while Toby's kind of working through that.
If you, I don't know who's still sharing, but
I am.
if anyone doesn't have any questions about that one, we can go down to the slide that says curriculum dashboards.
Yep, I want to, I think I'm still sharing, but I also
Okay.
want to point out that, so the steps that we just shared with you were, how do I generate the codes right here? And then sending home the codes with this letter, right? So that families receive this letter and the code. So what happens, and we'll talk a little bit more about like, so what happens, you send the code home and it doesn't make it all the way home, right? Or the coach reaches out, and that's okay because our coach will also help them get access. So if the paper doesn't make it home or the email gets lost, there's still, it's not just you, it's always good to have for it to come first from you, but our coach will also work with them and help them get access as well. Okay.
Perfect.
So I will stop sharing and then go ahead. Kimberly, if you want to, yeah.
All right, perfect. You can go on to the next one. All right, so when all of you log on to Waterford, you're going to be able to look at a dashboard. And this is just a quick look for you to see where all the students are. So you're able to see if they are, using every day, how many days they've used, and if they are on track to meet their goal. So it's just a quick little, checkpoint if you just want to look at something real quick. Next time, we're going to go over all the little tabs that are on there as well. But I think this is a good starting point for you to have. Yeah, perfect. This one is going to show where the students are starting. It's going to show their current level and then their goal level. So just a little bit more specific for you to see, are they progressing through the program, and where they are, during the year and where we would want them to be at the end. Anyone have any questions so far? All right.
Melissa, I think I figured out your issue. I just put it in the chat. Change your code to EV50.
All right, and then this one is our usage. So you're just able to see how many minutes are being used monthly. So you can do that class level, school level, you do that student, whatever you may choose.
And I think it's worthy to note that what your guys' target is for students making progress, right? Throughout the year, we're looking for 1,500 minutes for our pre-K and K students, and then 2,000 for our first and second grade students. And there's also a pretty a great informational document that's at the end of, or at the bottom of that the educator room. And it's actually broken down by grade level, and it gives topics and skills that students will be working on as they're working throughout the program. So I think that might be a handy tool to send home with the family letter, just to kind of front load what your student will be working on as they're working in the program. So just wanted to kind of highlight that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. You can go on to the next one. All right, so this is also one that I wanted to share. Again, we're going to dive deeper into this, but I wanted to share this because this is a great report for you, but it's also a wonderful report for the families. It's going to give specific strengths and weaknesses that the child is showing within Waterford. But it's also going at the top, it's going to give specific recommendations of what the family can do at home to help their child. So if you have, someone reaching out asking for ways that they can help or how their child's doing on Waterford, this is a quick and easy report to pull for them. We can go on to the next one. All right, and so these are some liaison resources. Kimberly, if you wouldn't mind clicking that digital high spot page. And I'm not sure if you scroll down a little bit and then see right here where it says Experience Waterford under the educator section, getting started. It says experience up, yeah, right there. And then go to the next little slide for that. If you just click on it. Perfect. These are all linked for you. And so fingers crossed that it will take us in without a login for you if you want to click on one of these. But they're just sample playlists of what a child is going to see throughout Waterford. Oh, yay. Okay, perfect. So that you can click on this one. This is phonological awareness. But if you clear the filters up there, yeah, perfect right there. And then you type in search sample. You're going to see a ton of different samples. So we listed a few for you, but there are a lot like math and science ones that you can look at as well, just if you're curious of what they might see. Does anyone have any questions about that?
So we're showing this to you because this is something specific that you have access to as a liaison. Anybody that has received, I know some of you do have, you might have another administrator that might have access to Waterford here. These are, we call them playlists, but they're digital activities and they're simulated so that if you wanted to experience Waterford like one of the children that has access, you can choose one of these playlists. There are thousands of playlists of digital activities that can also be used outside of, so like the child using, children are using Waterford at home. There's also a lot of playlists that can be used also in the building. If you were to pull students and work with them individually. So there's, there's that home to school connection because they might be like, wow, yeah, you know what? I've seen this at home when I'm working at home. So 2 ways to use this for you to experience it and also could use it with the children.
Perfect. So these are for, and if you want to stay on this page, the next thing I wanted to show you were family resources. And so since we're already on here, if you just click clear filters again, and then we're going to go over to the left and under view, click all activities. And then go all the way down to where it says collections. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go back up. It's on the left side, the drop down arrow that says collections. All right. So if you scroll down, you're going to see one that says learning together calendars. This is great. These calendars, they're in English and in Spanish. You can print out, send home with your families, and it gives them one thing every day that they could do with their child at home. Something fun that, you don't have to have a lot of materials to do. When I was a teacher, I loved sending these home monthly. So that's another thing you can tell tell the families about, but you could also use in your school for other teachers as well. So there's a learning together. There's also right above it, there's a learning together activity set. And so these are a ton of activities, reading, math, science, that families can do at home as well. And so these are more, PDFs, print off options that they can do, and they are in English and Spanish as well. And then lastly, there's one that is reading together activities. It's about 5 down. These are going to be books in English and Spanish that they can read at home together as well. So those are just 3 family activities that we wanted to show you and highlight because those are awesome and really popular within Waterford. And in the slideshow, I have steps for you to get to that too. So you're able, if you want to go back and look at it and don't remember the names of it, you'll be able to do that and look at the steps too. So you can, go back to the slideshow, please, that would be great. So you can go ahead and click the next one. We've gone over this, that's your liaison resources. This is the slide with the family resources. So it tells you, go to my.waterford.org, choose the resources and activities, then all activities, choose collections. And then these are the 3 that we looked at just a minute ago. Does anyone have any questions about any of those? All right, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jen. She is our coach for your families.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. It's fun to be here and see some of you. I know I've connected with some of you already. I actually was able to meet Melissa in person, and that was so fun to be at your school. And then some of you I've communicated with through email. And so I just want to thank you all as liaisons for what you're doing to get these families aware of the program and ready to get started. So I'll just go through some of the things that I do. So first, with onboarding, after families are entered into our Waterford Early Learning, I reach out for a welcome call. And during the welcome call, I like to get to know the family and also let them know a little bit about myself. Also, during that welcome call, we typically establish their primary goal, and a lot of families, it's, being a confident reader or just learning to read, learning their letters. It could be simple. And then we talk about what motivates their child. We discuss, possible roadblocks, and we set an appointment for their first progress call. During this call, if they haven't logged in and got their access to the program, then I walk them through those steps. And actually, of all the families I've spoken to so far, I've only had one that already did it themselves. So I'm typically doing that, and then again setting a progress call for about 2 weeks out so that I can get in touch with them right away after they've started, and we can talk about any questions that have come up with getting started and talk about where their child was placed in the program and some of that information. And then so let's see. So providing academic progress updates. During those progress calls, that's what we do. Now, typically, I'm going to be reaching out to these families about once a month if they're using the program pretty regularly, being consistent with it. And at that time, we will set kind of a more specific progress goal, something that's measurable that we can monitor and check in on each call. We'll also talk about things that they're really progressing well in, as well as any areas of difficulty that might be kind of ongoing, like something they're really struggling with. So if the parent wants to step in and help a little bit, I can share some ideas with that. And then if they're experiencing roadblocks we haven't talked about at that time, we'll work through that. If they're having problems with motivation or schedules or things like split homes, we can make plans of action to work together on with that. So yeah, once a month usually for those progress calls. In between that, I will kind of monitor their progress as much as I'm able to, and hopefully be sending like a text message or something between those calls of something specific the child's working on, or if they're getting close to reaching that goal or have met it that we set, I will celebrate that with them in a text message. And then the last thing there, we do host some live virtual sessions. We call them virtual circle times, and we read stories and we have interactive activities. And so that's kind of fun because then they actually get to see their coach. So that's how that works. And I feel like we had some awesome things happen last year. And so I wanted to just share a story or two from my experience last year. And Melissa will be familiar with this because these were students I got to meet when I visited their school this summer. But I had a little family of that had triplets. And honestly, it started out a little bit hard. The mom was just having a hard time. I mean, you can imagine with 3 kids having them do that every day, and they were in kindergarten. And so, having them do that when they got home, all 3 of them was a little tricky, but we were able to, work through things, overcome roadblocks, and they honestly did awesome. And they ended up really liking it. And like, I talked to the mom when I visited Montana, and she was like, they just got on there all summer without me even asking, because they just got used to it and they just loved that they were making progress and they liked the messages that you would send. And when we visited, Melissa told me that they all tested out of intervention. So I thought that was so exciting.
Yeah, they didn't qualify.
Yeah. And that's what we want, right? Like, that's so amazing. And I just, it's so awesome to hear that and know that. And, that's what this program is all about. And then another student that I supported was in 1st grade. He just had such a negative attitude about learning as far as himself. I think he just struggled in the classroom a little bit. And, sometimes, I mean, the classroom is a great experience for kids, but I've just noticed with this program that some of those kids that have a hard time concentrating or staying on task, this has been so nice for them to have something they can work on at their own individual pace. And so that was the case for this little guy. And we just really encouraged him, and he really learned to love the program, and being able to just do it and not be in front of peers was really positive for him. And I remember when I talked to the mom the first time, she was so upset because he just did have such a negative attitude about school in general. And she said she'd asked him how he felt about his learning, and he had told her incompetent. And she was like, I don't know how he even knew that word because he's in 1st grade. And anyway, he, by the end of the year around May, was just feeling so good and honestly had made incredible progress. So those are just a couple examples of awesome, outcomes we had. And I look forward to having more stories like that to share throughout this year. And again, just appreciate all that you're doing on your end, because it helps me so much. And I think it's going to be an awesome year.
Thank you for sharing that. That is awesome. I think that's such a motivation too. And I'm sorry that the kids tested out of it, but you gotta be happy about that too.
Right.
I don't know if anyone saw in the chat, Toby asked if anyone else was not able to log in, or has anyone else tried? It's okay if not. If you find out if you use any of the logins that I sent you and you cannot log in, please just email me and we will troubleshoot that for you.
And Jen, can I add one more thing? I should have mentioned
Yeah.
this. My plan kind of going forward is that I'm going to make 2 attempts to reach all these families for a welcome call. And then if you liaisons are okay with it, I would like to reach out to you and see if you can possibly, help me get in touch with some of the ones I haven't been able to reach. I hope that's okay. I love any comments about that. If you think that
is the first step for you to reach out to them first, or us to give them the code first?
So you give them the code. That way they know to be expecting some contact from me or from Waterford anyway.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to reach out for a welcome call, and I'll reach out twice. If I don't get in touch with them, or they don't respond to my email or my text message or call back, then after that second attempt, I would like to reach out to you and see if you could possibly reach out again and just let them know I haven't been able to get in touch with them. A lot of times the problem is I feel like our phone number, because it is a 1-888 number. And so many times when I talk to parents, they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't answer your call because I thought it was spam. And sometimes they see the text message and then they do text me back or make an appointment, but sometimes they don't. But that's what I'm hoping to do going forward.
I'm also wondering too, I actually was working with an after school program that was using Waterford at home. And one of the things that helped was asking the families to actually put the 800 number in as a contact and call it Waterford. So that way, when their phone, like they received a text or they received a call, they knew it was coming from Waterford. So I'm wondering, Jen, if you could either put your phone number into chat, or if we could also add that to like the digital page as put, something that, if you're not able to get in touch with the families, and then you reach out to you all, if that's something you could maybe encourage families to do is, hey, if you haven't heard from the coach, or put this number in your contacts. And that way, when they call you, you will know it's Waterford, because I don't answer 800 numbers either.
I don't either.
So, and I wish we had a better way, but that was something that was helpful and it was successful. So I'm wondering, okay, yep. So that's the number 1-888-982. Okay. And maybe, and I think, Jan, we can put together a tool, or like just a sort of a tip sheet, and put it into the digital page for you all as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd
Do
be
they
great.
need to add your personal extension?
No, I'm just putting that out there in case.
Okay.
When they call in, if I am busy, they're probably going to have to leave a message, or if I'm on a call. So anyway, if they want to reach me directly and not go through all the, push this for this and push that for that, then they can use my extension. But you can just give them the Waterford number. But I guess I'm putting that out there too, in case liaisons want to reach out for a question or help. You are welcome to email me or call, whatever works.
So we based our list off of our spring Ames web scores. And then, they got, like, I'm looking at my scores again. Like, I had a little kindergartner qualified for our Jumpstart summer program, which was part of the early literacy. And then now I'm looking and she's in the 94th percentile. Should I go and delete her? Like, she, because she did our summer reading program already. She's like, it wouldn't.
I think you don't have to. If she enjoys doing it, she'll go farther. It's based on how well she does, because you made her eligible last spring.
Right.
Just because she's doing better now doesn't mean you can't let her use the program.
Okay. Just because it's like, oh, well, the summer Jumpstart program kind of did its,
Right.
And who knows? It's one screener when they're that little. You never know with kindergartners. Right. But
if a parent says can't get her to do it, she says it's boring, that's a different story. But
yeah, she scored like in the top 4 of 60 kids. It's like, wow. Okay. So, okay.
Well, great.
I know. Yep. I'm sorry. I know that I think we promised we would stay to like 40 minutes, because I understand, Kimberly and Jackie, you had other things going on. So you good?
No, we're good.
If you have more to share, go for it.
Yeah.
So I know last year we did this, like, based off, we added kids throughout the year. So what would be that process? I go in and do it in Infinite Campus and you load them, or?
Correct. So So you can go ahead and if you have additional students, Melissa, you can go ahead and put them in there and enroll them in it through Infinite Campus. And then I have a system that I use when I send over the template over to, I will just add them to your school template. And I have a system set up with Waterford.
Okay.
Yep.
And this is the last slide that we have to share. So if anyone has any other questions, we're happy to help. We will share this out to all of y'all so that you can have that. And it is recorded, so we can have that as well. If anyone needs anything, has any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat. If you haven't heard from Toby or I already, you will
And
be
you'll
soon.
hear from us. Yeah, you'll hear from us throughout the year as well. You know, we want to support you as much as possible. We also don't want to bug you, but we want to be here for you whenever you need it. So if there is something that you are unclear of, or like Melissa, like I can't log in because it's taking me to my old, like, please reach out to us. I mean, it took us 3 minutes to figure that out once we did. So just reach out to us. We would be happy to schedule a quick call with you. Later on in the year, we'll have an opportunity to actually look at some real student data so that you can see the power of the data. I encourage you, I know Jen will be monitoring it from the student standpoint, but I encourage you to also, go in, play with, last year you didn't have access other than what was given to you. Now you can go in at any time. You can go in and see, has anybody gotten started? Take a look at that usage report. First thing, see if they've gotten started. If you have questions, reach out to us. Don't wait till November.
Can I mention one thing? I know we said if they want to call that number that I put in the chat, they can call. They actually can't text that number because it's not a personal private number. It actually is our Waterford number for coaches. But if I text them, they can respond to the text. We use an app. So I just thought I'd throw that out there to make sure we're clear on that.
And then it looks like Alicia has some questions on if you guys could clarify your roles. She says she tends to email all of you when she has questions because she's not quite sure who does what. So if you guys can just clarify, I think we heard from Jennifer, but I think Jan and Toby maybe just clarify what your roles are with Waterford.
Yeah, I am the partner success specialist on this. So any questions you have, please email me. I am not new to Waterford, but I am new to the position. I was a school relations director, so I worked closely with districts all the time. So I am very familiar with it. I'm just kind of transitioning and helping Toby out with it. Toby had all of it, and so now I'm trying to take some of it off her shoulders. So please email me with any questions you have. I'm happy to help.
And Alicia, I'm the director of partner experience. I'm actually moving into a slightly new role. So Jan is going to be your right-hand person. However, if you do email me, I will make sure that she gets it because we're still transitioning and I'm still remaining involved. But she is basically liaisons. Jan is your person. If you have any questions, email Jan. And she will make sure that it gets to Jennifer or anybody else that needs it. Any questions, any feedback you're hearing from families, any questions you have, Jan Harden, she's your person.
Thank you. All right. Well, we want to be respectful of your time. So if there aren't any other questions, we will let you go, but please don't hesitate to ask questions. We are happy to help you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, Jan, just real quick.
Uh-huh.
Who do I get the login information from?
You will get it from me.
Okay.
So if you haven't gotten it already, we're waiting for the students to be rostered and courses to be sent. So Fairview, I think I just got that one. So as soon as I get it back from our tech team, I'll send that to you.
Let me say one other thing also, because I'm sure you all can see Ivania handy here. I'm gonna just introduce her. She is awesome. She's helping me as a coach for families that speak Spanish. So if there's a family that needs support that way, we've got them covered. So
Yes, we have several.
good. Yeah. So we can take it. And if you
happy to help.
Yes. And if you have specific families, if you want to email me, then rather than me reach out to them and